Border agents say smugglers are using real travel documents to try to sneak people into the United States. Morgan Lowe found a black market for U.S. passports in tonight's hidden camera investigation.
The streets of border towns like Nogales, Sonora, Mexico are bustling. But what you may not see is an underground economy hiding in plain sight.
What do you think? Who do I talk to down here?
Where black market travel agents buy, sell, and rent passage north.
These are big organizations that's all they do.
13 years ago, we took hidden cameras into Mexico and showed the process involved in hiring a human smuggler. 2 hours of asking around and saying I needed to get some deported workers back into the U.S. We ended up sitting at a table in a restaurant talking to this man.
$1,000 per person.
Who said he would guide them through the desert for $1,000 a head.
But that was years ago. The newest trend in smuggling doesn't involve sneaking across the border in the middle of the desert or climbing the fence.
We learned about it by going undercover again with the same story.
He can't cross here, he doesn't have documentation.
If he spoke English, they could get him a U.S. passport. If he doesn't, they could get him a Mexican passport.
What does a U.S. passport cost down here?
Well, it's $1,500 for the rental.
You heard that right. He offered to rent a U.S. passport.
And it's a real one, too. It's going to be somebody who looks just like him.
That entire deal went down just 100 yards south of the U.S. port of entry.
How often do you catch people using somebody else's documents?
We encounter that, we see it very often.
Just about every day, according to Marcia Armendariz, who is a supervisor with Customs and Border Protection.
They're what we call imposters.
Because newer passports are high-tech and tough, if not impossible to alter, smuggling gangs south of the border are now focusing on acquiring the real thing. Some gangs have hundreds of them.
They find people who are in need of money. Hey, you know what? You're in need of money? Why don't you sell me your document? Later on, you could report it lost or stolen.
And because the smugglers rent them out, the same passport can be used over and over. $1,500 a shot. It's a lucrative business while it lasts.
Sooner or later, they get caught.
Morgan joins us now, and this is bold because they're using these passports right in front of Border Patrol agents.
Yeah, they get one shot at this. If they can make it past that initial officer, they're home free. But if the officer suspects something and sends the imposter into secondary, that's when they get into trouble, because that's where they get asked the questions like, where are your last 3 addresses? What hospital were you born at? And that's hard to fake.
So it's fascinating to see how smugglers are constantly changing their tactics. All right, Morgan Lowe, thank you.